Hello everybody, Joe Naylor here from Reverend Guitars, and we are live at Madame ZuZu's in Chicago with Mr. Billy Corgan himself, and we're going to talk about some of his signature guitars.
Love it.
And it looks like we have a custom color here.
No one asked my permission for this. You guys just went crazy and went with this beautiful Outfield Ivy.
Yes.
Is this hopefully this is Chicago Cubs Ivy we're talking about here.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
All right,
hence the
that's
Outfield.
good.
But this is an exclusive at CME, Chicago Music Exchange.
Yeah, fantastic.
They only have 24 of them though, people, so if you like this, you want to get on it.
I think it's got great style, and certain guitar colors just don't speak to me. This one spoke to me right away. So when you guys sent this to me, I was like, I'm all for it. I love it.
Z-One model. This is the evolution of the first Billy Corgan signature model, which was the BC1. Yeah, we were going for a thicker tone on this one. You wanted something more for the heavy stuff.
Yeah, well, I was playing our original signature guitar, which I love and I still use all the time, but it's got a kind of brighter, more modern tone and a clarity that's really, really good, great for recording. But from the live side, playing old Pumpkin stuff, I found myself at times sort of almost fighting the guitar because I wanted that sort of old, darker, little less high end on the very, very top and a little bit more like the grunge.
Yeah.
I always tell you it's the Tony Iommi note under the like a low mid. I don't know how you get it because you get it great, and I love these pickups. So yeah, so it's great because I can play, brand new, beautiful Reverend guitars and be able to play that 90s style and get not only the tone that I used to get, but the more modern version of the tone. So it's not like I'm getting an old tone, I'm getting the new version of the old tone. I remember talking to Tony Iommi years ago about his relationship with certain amp makers. And he was talking about how people, of course, romanticize the old sound, and they should. It's a fantastic sound. But at the end of the day, he's always trying to update that into the modern era. And I think at the time I didn't totally understand it. And now that I'm a little bit older, I get it. It's like you want your sound, but at the same time, you don't want your sound to sound dated or tired or old. You want your sound to sort of be brought into the 21st century.
Well, yeah, you wanted to sound like you. Well, when you approached me with the idea of this one, and you said you wanted the heavy tune, to use it for the heavier tunes, you actually referenced a couple tunes in an email to me, and you had mentioned in Melancholy, Jelly Belly,
Yeah.
Zero, Bodies.
Yeah.
And so I went back and listened to those, and it does have that thickness and not too skinny on the high end,
Your ability to sort of keep a vintage tone on a guitar, but at the same time kind of find that balance point with modernity, to me is the most impressive thing about your pickup work. And then the guitars just, they're very consistent. I feel very comfortable with Reverend as a company. Certainly we partnered together for years, going way back, but the thing I love about Reverend is I can pretty much pick up any guitar, play it live, and it'll be as consistent as the stuff that I keep at home. It's not like I have the secret stash at home and then I take these other ones out live.
Right.
All Reverends are always the same build quality, and so that's why I'm so proud to stand with the company, because I feel very comfortable telling a young person, particularly if they want to play this guitar, it's literally the same guitar that I'm playing, not only on stage, but in the studio.
to get the tone you wanted, and I'll just be brief here, we changed the wood of the body to alder. The BC1 was Carina, which is brighter and a little more scooped in the mid-range. And so we went with the alder, which has a little more of that thickness. And then, of course, we went with a kind of a cleaner look than the first one with the one-piece pickguard, aluminum pickguard.
Yeah.
And then we went ahead and wound the pickups just a little hotter, just to get a little more of that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
That thickness in there.
I love it.
These are Billy Corgan signature rail hammers, by the way. And when we went for the cleaner look, I thought it needed a little more pop. It was like so clean and stark.
Yeah.
And we didn't even really talk about this. I don't think.
You didn't get my approval. Let's put it that way. You just went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
But I have to say, when I first saw it, I thought it was a bit cheeky, because it obviously references the Airplane Flies High box set, which came out from the Pumpkins in '96. But I have to say now, I've really gotten used to it. I like the way it looks, and I get so many compliments. People love the design element on the pickups, which is not something I would normally think of in terms of design element. And so it's become really signature to the way I view the guitar. I'm prideful because not only represents the guitar that I'm playing, but also represents a bit of my history.
Yeah, and that was the reason it did. You draw that history in there, and your band is so visual with the graphics and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be a nice touch. I'm glad you liked it, because you're right. I didn't even tell you about it.
We're not very backwards facing as a unit, so usually we sort of tend to avoid anything that references the past. But in this case, I think it was very apropos.
Yeah.
And you really did manage to capture that sort of 94, 96 guitar sound, which many people to this day reference consistently with me. And I try to explain it was a whole combination of things that created that sound. Mm-hmm. So the ability to get that sound out of the box with this guitar, with basically any distortion, whether you're using pedals or like I use the Karsten's Grace amp live. I also use Orange amps live, as well as Laney's. I can get my sound literally with any amp, where in the past it would have had to been the right amp with the right guitar. This now in the box here gets what I want, and I can literally get it anywhere. When you guys first showed me, these more modern Reverends, because of course we go way back, this ability to dump the low end here with this, I don't know what you call the knob officially.
The bass contour.
Okay, bass contour.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was like, I'm never going to use that. I always like a full-throated sound. I've gotten so used to using this thing now. It's become very much a part of my playing.
Oh, we hear that all the time.
It's such a great feature on the guitar, because oftentimes, like if you're playing live and you want a little less gain, you don't want to necessarily lose the sort of the distortion signature you have. You want to sort of create a different shape in the sound. Mm-hmm. And so in the past, where I would have gone and just turned the volume down a bit, now I find myself reaching for this contour knob and sort of rolling off just enough to kind of pull the guitar back from the band and then put it right back up. So I've been surprised, because when you first gave me these models, I never thought I would have used this bass contour knob. I even thought about telling my tech just to get rid of it, like, just use it as a dummy knob, because I've done that in the past with certain tone knobs and stuff. And I'm glad I didn't, because I love this feature. Very proud that Reverend has become my mainstay guitar for almost everything I do over the last 5+ years in terms of recording. And I'm not trying to be Mr. Big Stuff here. I can afford far more expensive instruments that are boutique made.
Sure.
And that's no denigration, because I love the affordability of the Reverend guitars, but I love that the craftsmanship is available to everybody. Mm-hmm. And I also love the fact that even though if I have, let's call it more expensive choices, particularly in the vintage department, that again and again I'm still picking up the Reverend because it makes good music for 2023. I may be sentimental about old guitars, I may be sentimental about even cool old guitars that I love because they were played by other guitar players that I admire.
Well, we all are, so.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying at the end of the day, I have to make contemporary music for this century, and I have to be able to sort of represent that what I'm playing on the guitar is going to end up not only on a record, but being played live, especially against such a great catalog that the Pumpkins has. To make new music like Beguiled, which was a very successful song for us, made on this guitar. That says a lot to me. That means I'm able to make hit music using Reverend as my guitar. And so that relationship is symbiotic.
Yeah. And boy, we've been doing this together for maybe since about 2000, I think.
That's frightening, yeah.
Yeah, I think right before Machine
you just get younger looking, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, drugs and alcohol.
Well,
secret.
Whatever goes on over there across the Indiana state line, I can't speak for. But.
Okay.